know, it's just further evidence of what I know, which is it absolutely works. And it for me, it needs to be out there for everyone, embedded, used, sustainable, and you'll see a shift in education. I just think across the board, absolutely, there's no doubt.
It's kind of, you're helping young girls, ladies, in terms of life skills. Is that what it is?
It can be through the charity, yeah, through students, because my business called Students in Mind. It's for students per se, not just the girls and women. It is in the charity, and that's what they help. They help women and girls in this country and abroad, in Africa and so on. It's about delivering something that will give them an understanding, help them with the here and now, and skills and tools and strategies that they can then return to and tap into and use at times when they feel they need to going forward. And that's the idea behind Students in Mind, is that we give those skills over to students and show them in the classroom there and then as part of the lesson, tiny small steps forward, ways to progress, how to calm the nerves, how to cultivate empathy, how to develop a skill set that helps heal trauma, that shows them how to thrive in an educational environment, in developing their emotional resilience alongside their academic ability and achievement. So it's marrying the two up together. And what it offers is something that as yet I haven't seen offered anywhere else. There are many companies that help students and help teachers, but it's along the lines of packets information or wellbeing days, which are brilliant. I'm not criticising any of this, all of this helps. Or wellbeing weeks and so on, or a hub, and all of those kind of things. But what I found is by embedding it every day at some point and developing so many tools and skills to help those students and myself, that depending on how the lesson was going, it was, I found ways, or I naturally came up with the ways that, we'll do a small meditation after that, or we'll start with an attitude of gratitude, let's just get their vibe up and so on, and amongst other things, that I could see how their worries were reduced, their ability to form meaningful relationships as far as friendships and support groups went in the classroom helped enormously, and ultimately their ability to just understand the subject. So I still taught my English literature the same way as I had before. It was A-levels that they were doing. But I could see the progress, I could see the natural understanding, because they felt relaxed, they felt protected, they felt supported within the classroom, not only by me, but by their peers as well. And the benefit, another benefit of it really is there will always be students, and research has shown that there's at least 3 students in every classroom, if not more, who would never ever open their mouths and say, I need help, would never put their hand up and say, can you refer me to the school or the college council or wherever it is. They would just suffer. Yeah. So even if I opened a door and said, in that room right opposite is a people or is someone who can help you, they wouldn't walk across to that door. But when you do it, when you embed it, they're getting all of the benefit without ever having to raise their hand. So it's helping everybody.
It's fantastic, that. It's really good. You've explained that really well. I know exactly what it is that you do now.
Yeah.
Right, that's really, really good. So you're kind of implementing the counselling and life coaching within the actual lessons itself. I think that's what you're doing, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I started by reframing my outlook on how I saw my teaching day and so on. And so even reframing challenges, problems as challenges, that's something that there is always a solution, can help teachers, can help anyone with finding a way when they feel sometimes there isn't a way to go, or that there's a, that their progress is blocked. And by doing that, you can help the teachers reframe, think about their day in a different way in order to free up that time to be able to develop those other skills that create an empath and that in turn helps the students to be that way, and therefore they then are open to much more understanding around well-being and developing that resilience, those resilient skills, and that imposter syndrome that they feel, and those exam worries, and all of those problems that kids see and teachers have because of the workload, that they can improve it there and then each day in the classroom, bit by bit. Because what I saw for many years before I actually started to do this, I started because I had trauma myself and needed to look after me, and I got to a point where I couldn't walk, I was unable to walk, so I invested in me, so trained in transcendental meditation, mindfulness and so on, in order to help me. And then I'd been very concerned and raising it for many years in the classroom about how students were suffering, and real evidence of increasing anxiety and stress levels year on year, and the physical evidence of self-harm. And I can clearly see in my mind and various students over the years whose arms were just tattooed with scars, and it's sad. That was very, very sad for me to see that, and to even try and just chat to them or just show them that you understand, that you care, that they can talk to you, not just about your subject or anything like that. And all teachers have that empathetic nature, but they would shut down. That was their outlet. So to find ways and to create ways that they can have that support and heal bits of that trauma for them every day makes their experience in the classroom more fulfilling, and they learn in other ways. And so by the time I came out of my first full 2-year cohort of training and teaching them, but in using the skills, we had the highest results in the college.
Wow.
So what that showed me, and I was in no doubt, to be honest, I really was in no doubt because I saw them blossoming. So what that showed to me was that on a practical element for those kids, for the students, and for the school or the college or whatever, it's about results, and it's about where you can progress, because then you want to attract more students in as a college, as a business. And as a teacher, you want to help your students the best way you can, and the students want the best results they can get. And it doesn't mean A stars across the board, because you'll get academic students who can do that, and you'll get students who aren't as academic but try their absolute hardest, and the result they come out with is that most brilliant result, the best. They have added value to themselves by achieving what they've achieved, and it's celebrating the whole spectrum. And so by using all of these skills and these tools, it maximised their potential to do that, and for them to have the ability to think when they felt in a stressful position or in a difficult position or a traumatic position, that they knew they would get support in the classroom, but also they'd benefited from those skills, so could use them, take them away and use them themselves. All those coping mechanisms as well. So all of that, and it proved it. And teachers started coming to me saying, "What are you doing? Can I have a go? Tell me what it is you're having, you're practicing or trying." Others would just come and say, "What's going on with Joe Bloggs? He's come from your room. Normally I can't calm him down. He's come in, he's chilled, he's cracking on," those kind of things. So again, that was supportive evidence for me that it worked. And so now the charity have given me the opportunity to create these courses. I had them written, but now I've got the platform where they're online, and that's sustainable then, and that's what this is about, sustainable well-being in the classroom to help both teachers and students. And therefore you create a much more progressive and prolific and supportive synergy within the classroom and in education, which is what I think is needed.
Yeah, it's just really amazing listening. Now, you mentioned before that you've actually watched students blossom when you've been delivering this style of teaching yourself. Have you got any examples where it's really changed a student's or individual's life?
Yeah, I'm actually still in touch with a couple of my students who I taught A-level, they're now doing masters and things like that. And a number of them, we just randomly get in touch every now and then. I keep in touch with them, even if it's just a how are you getting on kind of thing. And actually in my brochures and on my website and so on, I've got testimonials from those students and others where they've said, I wouldn't have achieved this, Sarah, because I didn't have the ability, I didn't have the confidence. One student, Emma, and you know, she won't mind me saying her name, she was sort of shoehorned into doing English literature because what she wanted to take, there was only a particular avenue for her, and she struggled and struggled and struggled. And even going into her second year, she just wasn't achieving. And we focused on the well-being, on developing her confidence and so on like that within the classroom. And when we did things like attitude of gratitude, I encouraged the students to support each other. And so they became very aware of those who felt they needed it more, showed gratitude to those particular students. And after a short while, I could see a change in her. I could see a change in her work. And I just, you know, asked her about it one day and she said, everything, the penny's just dropped. I knew the penny had dropped, and I knew it had dropped because she stopped having that level of anxiety of, I don't understand this, because she realised others would support her and others would help her. Whereas beforehand, it was sort of blind panic. And part of the programme is about building a community and getting that community spirit. And it just came together for her, and she came out with an A at the end of it, which was just beyond all expectation. But what it meant was she got the grades that she needed to go to Manchester University, to go into Manchester Met. So that's where she wanted to go, and she was struggling because she was saying, I don't know whether I'll get it in my 3 A-levels. But she did, she got what she needed to get, and she's gone on and absolutely shone. Students now who are, you know, going on to do their masters and on from that. And I do know that Joe, when he finishes at Oxford, will carry on and do his PhD. That's always been his plan. But that they're still using skills, the programmes that I've given them and so on, is heartwarming. I know it's just further evidence of what I know, which is it absolutely works. And it for me, it needs to be out there for everyone, embedded, used, sustainable. And you'll see a shift in education, I just think, across the board, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind for that.
So how can we spread this message to everybody then? Because this is going to go out to quite a wide range audience, quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
So how can these people get on board with what you're doing, go and check it out a bit more? What can they do? What steps can they take?
Well, they can get in touch with me directly, so through Students in Mind. They can go on the website, which is studentsinmind.co.uk, and or contact me directly, and then we can discuss. I was in London last week, had some meetings with sixth form colleges, with an educational provider, with the school, and so on. So actually it was quite diverse meetings, because one was with a secondary school, one was with a sixth form, one was an independent educational provider, but they're all very interested in doing that. So they can look, I'm on LinkedIn as Students in Mind, and also as Sarah Harvey. I'm on Twitter as Students in Mind, I'm on Instagram again as Students in Mind. And so there's different avenues that they can either go through those and contact me, or they can email directly or go on the website and contact me through that as well.